Hey cousin, who you chillin' with?
I'm chilling with MONIE.
Let's start with Kendrick Lamar's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. When that album dropped, it hit people like a mirror they didn't ask for. It was heavy, it was vulnerable, and it was raw. Therapy sessions, tap dancers symbolizing avoidance, family trauma, infidelity, fatherhood, all laid out on the table. Now, for a lot of folks, that wasn't easy to digest. This wasn't Good Kid, Mad City with the cinematic storytelling or Damn with the radio friendly hits. It wasn't something you could turn on at a party. Mr. Morale was an album that demanded you to sit down and confront yourself. And let's be real, a lot of people don't want to do that. That's why some critics and fans called it Kendrick's worst album. But think about it. When your worst album is being compared to a discography that has Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, and now even GNX, of course something is going to feel different. And different doesn't mean bad. A lot of that hate honestly came from naysayers who didn't want to give it a chance. But here's the thing. While people were debating the replay value, other artists were watching closely because Kendrick brought back the lane of vulnerability in rap. And yes, before Kendrick, you had projects like Jay-Z's 444 or Nas's Life is Good, and probably many others, where the legends open up about marriage, fatherhood, and mistakes. But Kendrick made it resonate with an entirely new generation, and you can see his fingerprints all over today's artists. For example, Offset, his new album Kiari coming out August 22nd, looks straight out of Kendrick's Count Me Out playbook. Offset is in a therapist's office, clock ticking, therapist calling his name, and multiple Offsets show up. Fractured personalities, all in conversation with themselves. That's a direct echo of Kendrick zoning out in therapy until Helen Mirren calls him back to reality. And it makes sense because we've literally seen Offset vibing to Mr. Morale in his downtime.
I fought like a pit bull terrier, blood I shed. I love when you count me out. I love when you count me out. I love when you count me out.
Him getting inspiration isn't far fetched. And then there's YG. On his track 2004, he admitted to being molested as a kid. That's not the type of confession you would have ever expected from YG in his earlier days. And with the Gentleman's Club rollout, he's leaning on narration and therapy framing too. Kendrick made that space feel possible. Tyler, the Creator, with Chromacopia. Tyler leaned into mass, marching visuals, and split identities. Kendrick's whole thing on Mr. Morale was to take the mask off and stop tap dancing around your truth. Tyler flipped it, showing the mask literally and letting it play out in his own world.
And that's what Kendrick just did with his new album. And I love that album. But I feel like he touches on that's so open and honest that some people can't listen to it because they probably feel like he's looking at them in a.
Then we have Justin Bieber. Even outside of rap, the influence is showing. Bieber used the same photographer, Renell, who shot Mr. Morale's cover with Kendrick, Whitney, and their kids. Bieber's album visuals with Haley and his son carry that same intimate, family-centered energy. So you see the pattern here. The same album some call Kendrick's weakest is actually inspiring his peers. And if we're being honest, the worst album tag doesn't even line up with the reality. Mr. Morale was a critical darling, praised by Pitchfork, Rolling Stone, NME, you name it. It won Best Rap Album at the Grammys, plus Best Rap Song and Performance for The Heart Part 5.
Fans for trusting me with these words, you know? Yeah. As artists, we all entertainers, stupid, and we say things to provoke thoughts and feelings and emotions. So making this record is one of my toughest records to make, and it allowed me to do that and allowed me to share other people's experiences, So going back and thinking back where I started with rap and how far it came, I would like to thank the culture for allowing me to evolve in order to make a song like Mother, I'm Sober, that's special to me. All we ever wanted was to be the biggest underground artist of all time, and I finally found imperfection with this album, so I appreciate y'all. I love y'all.
It picked up BET Hip Hop Awards, Soul Train Awards, and more. And let's not forget the Big Steppers tour. That run became the highest grossing rap tour of all time at one point. Over 110 million across 6 continents. You don't pull numbers like that with an album people supposedly hated. So here's what it really comes down to. Calling Mr. Morale Kendrick's worst album isn't about truth. It's about people being uncomfortable. It's about agendas. When Kendrick gave them therapy, they wanted club bangers. But while some fans dismissed it, artists were taking notes. Offset, YG, Tyler, Bieber, and so many more, all pulling from Kendrick's blueprint. That's not failure, that's leadership. And honestly, I'm glad artists are being inspired to be more introspective, to talk about healing, and yes, even show themselves going to therapy. That needs to be less stigmatized, especially in the Black community. Because let's be real, if anybody needs healing, it is us. We carry generational trauma, systemic trauma, personal trauma. And for so long, rap has only allowed space for toughness, ego, and bravado. Kendrick cracked open that door, and now more artists are walking into it. And I love that because music isn't supposed to just hype you up. Sometimes it's supposed to help us grow.
I love when you count me out. Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fucking it up.